And a very interesting story as far as their head coach goes, as we will get into as this night progresses. Cal in the home whites in the opening tip, batted around, and Cal Poly controls, and a former Golden Bear, Jared Hyder, brings it across for the Mustangs. Deflected out by Monty Sissoko. It stays with Cal Poly. Here's the starting five for Mike DeGeorge and Cal Poly. Hyder, and a number of those guys came with Mike DeGeorge from Colorado Mesa, where he was the last 6 years. They're not necessarily veterans for Cal Poly, but veterans in this system as Mac Riniker lays it in for the game's first points.
Well, Roxy, they know how to play. They've played at a championship level. They've played together, and they're veteran players and upperclassmen. You put those combinations together, that spells success.
And they understand the system, Ben. And even though these players are new to Cal Poly, but having an understanding of the system has to give them a big advantage early in the year.
Well, you know, they just seem to get to the right spot on the floor. They seem comfortable out there. And, you know, they had a substantial lead against USF before USF stormed back in the second half. So keep your eyes on Cal Poly. They are a very difficult matchup to match up against because of what they do and how they play.
Isaac Jessup with that three as Cal looks to attack, and it's batted around inside. Last touch by Monty Sissoko, the transfer from Michigan State, and it belongs to Cal Poly.
Well, Rox, you can see that they really space the floor, and when you get out to their shooters, which you must do, they really are good attacking the basket. They actually get points in the paint, and that's because of their three-point proficiency.
They lost their opener Tuesday at War Memorial Gym across the Bay Bridge, 86-78. They made 12 threes in that game against the Dons. The 19 turnovers, they are prone to the turnover as they just commit one with this quick style. They love to push the pace.
Well, I was at that game, had that game, Roxy, and really they are difficult, as I mentioned, to play against, but you've got to put some pressure on them. You can't be afraid to getting driven. We talked about that with Coach Madsen today. You can't allow them to play free and easy, and you can't allow them to play without some type of physical contact.
And a reach and foul, Isaac Jessup way out top. And that's the first whistled against either side. And Jessup, the senior from Spokane, Washington, came with Mike DeGeorge from Colorado Mesa, who began his college career as a walk-on for Tad Boyle at Colorado.
Well, remember him well, actually, and now he's got a chance to play and make his own contributions.
On the drive to the bucket, and the first points breaking the seal for the Golden Bears. DJ Campbell, the transfer from Western Carolina. Now Isaac Jessup a three, and the offensive rebound, that's Owen Kuntz for the Mustangs.
Well, Bears score, Roxy. They've got to get back in a hurry. You can't celebrate.
And a three, the offensive rebound again, Isaac Jessup off the Ethan Menzies miss. And a three, and the second triple for Isaac Jessup, and an early 6-point lead, and Mark Madsen taking a quick timeout.
Well, that's a good timeout, Roxy. Again, this is a team and a style of play that you're not used to seeing. You can't simulate this in practice, so you got to use your timeouts early in the year. I love watching this action. We have a good one on our hands. I told you this was a hard team to play against. I covered that. I know what I saw. I mean,
so the last three, Isaac Jessup's got a couple of threes. 8-2 Cal Poly leads, and forcing Mark Madsen to take an early timeout.
well, you think he's just going to go there and set the offense up. They don't set the offense up very often. And Mark Madsen saying, guys, when you're guarding a ball handler, they're looking to score at all times. Don't start getting lulled to sleep out there. I thought that was a very good timeout.
Was that a timeout to get the message of his players? As a three lined up, and that's short from BJ Omot.
Yeah.
A long rebound, Jared Hyder for Cal Poly.
Yeah, just to make sure that you know that you're in a dogfight. And so I really think that it's a smart play just to get the momentum back. You don't want to be down 8-2 early and then not have to play with the momentum. You've got to get their mojo back.
Knocked away in a steal, Jovan Blackshear Jr. for Cal, and has it blocked from behind. Good hustle by Mac Riniker coming back for the Mustangs, and it's off of Cal.
Yeah, well, you'll see, you talk about a defensive player. watch the steal by Blackshear, and what you think is a sure layup. Rineker was 2-time Defensive Player of the Year at his previous stop, and he can play. He never gave up on that play, and he came back and saved the day.
And it was the right call. The ball did hit off Blackshear, then went out of bounds. But as you alluded to, Rineker, one of those Colorado Mesa transfers, as Ethan Menzies knocks one down. That's 3 threes, and the Mustangs are up 9.
Well, as I mentioned, Roxy, the coaching staff, Mark Madsen and his staff knows they've got to get out on shooters, and you've got to make them drivers sometimes, do something they're not comfortable to do. They're very comfortable shooting the basketball.
Spinning inside, and a foul. No, a tie-up, and the arrow stays with Cal. On the jump ball will stay at this end. Cal with 15 on the shot clock.
Well, Cal's a physical team, Roxy, and they've got to get out there. Again, you can't just relax. You've got to get out there and make guys put the ball on the floor. You can't let them play unattended.
10 to shoot for the Golden Bears. Here is Jovan Blackshear. Joseph rattles out a 3 as Joshua Ola-Joseph missing, and a rebound for Cal Poly. Ethan Menzies is a Bay Area kid, went to Half Moon Bay High School over across the bay. One of 4 Colorado Mesa transfers that followed Mike DeGeorge. Jared Hyder on the drive, and a tough fall away, and it's batted around, and Cal controls the loose ball, and it's Mady Sissoko.
That was a great possession defensively, Roxy, for the Cal Bears. They need more of that.
Joshua Ola-Joseph trying to split a double team, has his shot blocked, and running back the other way, pushing Jared Hyder. The trail 3, Mac Rineker. And the rebound batted around, and it's last touch by Cal Poly. It belongs to Cal, but a terrific start for the Mustangs. They're up 11-2 on the road.
You couldn't draw up any better. Cal's got their hands full, Roxy. They got to step up defensively. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
I mean, the story is Cal Poly right now. Do we want to talk them?
Yeah, just
the threes.
Yeah, and just the style of play.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Okay. You gonna talk about their?
Here, I'll just tee you up. What is, the slow start? What does Cal need to?
Thank you.
Cal Poly with the early lead on California at Haas Pavilion in Game 2 of the season for the Golden Bears, along with the coach Ben Braun. Roxy Bernstein with you. And for Cal, Ben, out to the slow start, what do they need to do to get going here?
Well, you're playing against a team, Roxy, that's positionless. So when you do that, and these guys prefer to play in the perimeter, you've got to get out there probably to the three-point line and make them attack. If you're Cal, make them take you off the dribble, make them drivers. Cal's got shot blockers, they've got athletes, and they've got depth. And I'm sure that's what Mark Madsen is talking about with his team right now during the timeout. So let's see if they make that adjustment.
Both teams go to the bench as Jeremiah Wilkinson, the freshman from Powder Springs, Georgia, is in the game for Cal, while the Utah transfer Luka Tarlach is in for Cal Poly. 10 to shoot. BJ Omot the pull-up, and the offensive rebound, Monty Sissoko powering his way inside. Freshman Wilkinson off balance. 10 on the timer for Jovan Blackshear Jr. Underneath, double clutching, and one counted. BJ Omot for the Golden Bears.
Well, Roxy, look for that combination of Blackshear to Omot, because they need more of that. They need Blackshear, who did it last game, Jovan, getting to the rim, drawing a crowd, and finding his big fella to the basket for the three-point opportunity.
Foul was on Kieran Elliott of Cal Poly, his first. So Omot at the line, the transfer from North Dakota, and played 2 years for North Dakota. Last year was first team All Summit, where he averaged almost 17 points per game. As Omot, his parents are from South Sudan, but he was born and raised in Minnesota, in Mankato, Minnesota. And had good numbers at North Dakota and transferring to Cal. Now Omot getting a breather, and a deep three from Hyder is good.
He should look familiar to Cal fans, Roxy. He put some time in here, and now he's finally healthy. Was not healthy when he played for the Bears for his tenure here.
He was with Cal for 3 years, and you're right, he wasn't healthy his entire time, whether it was the back injury, the foot issues that he had. He had a terrific season at Fresno State. That's where he started. Then 3 years at Cal, transferring to Cal Poly, his second year playing for the Mustangs.
Well, he's earned it. He's put some time in. His body is healed. Had a chance to spend some time with him today. He's happy to be playing a fifth year.
Rattles out for Jovan Blackshear Jr. The rebound ripped down by Kieran Elliott for Cal Poly. Step back from Jared Hyder, and Hyder hits his second three. That's 5 threes for Cal Poly, and they're up 12.
Well, and they're playing with confidence, Roxy. That's what upperclassmen do. They're playing against really a pretty good defensive team in Cal, and right now they've got an edge because of that confidence level.
Jovan Blackshear Jr. rattles in a three for California.
Well, they're going to answer with some of their arsenal now, but they've got to come back, Cal, and get some stops.
And the ball slips out of the hands, out of bounds, out of the hands of Paul Vizimona. And the transfer from Eastern Illinois, and it goes over to Cal.
Well, I like the pressure, Roxy. I like the possessions Cal has had where they put pressure on the basketball and they've caused either a tough shot or a turnover. But you can see how confident Jovan Blackshear is at the perimeter. He's not afraid to pull up under control and knock down shots.
A little bit of a slow start for Cal, but a hot start for Cal Poly, especially shooting the three. Christian Tucker in the game, the transfer from UTSA for California, but an errant pass intended for Rytis Petraitis, the Air Force transfer, and it goes back over to the Mustangs and Mike DeGeorge's team.
Well, keep your eyes now on the Bears for sure. They're going to be playing a lot of players, and they've got a number of guys with experience. So I think over the long haul, that gives them an edge, and if they can use that, that will help them.
Look at Tarlach down the lane. The spin, and it won't go for Tarlach, and it's last touch by Cal Poly. We're going the other way, and it belongs to California.
Well, Roxy, that's what I'm talking about putting pressure on Cal Poly and making them go to the basket. They don't finish as comfortably as they are on the perimeter. They would prefer to play in the perimeter. Not to say they can't make layups, they can, but I would think that there's going to be a lot more pressure on the ball and see if they can push him into some shot blockers.
Rattles out for Andrej Stojakovic, and inside of the putback, Lee Dort for Cal. Now here comes Cal Poly running back the other way. And a travel. And Petraitis still down. He may have gotten clipped in the face.
You can see, you know, and I say this affectionately, you can see Petraitis, you know, he's a pest. You can see he's on the floor, first game on the floor for floor burns. He makes you do things you don't want to do. He's a guy you don't want to play against, and I know Mark Matson's really happy with his performance and his contribution. So right there again, comes in the game, forces a turnover.
They're at the monitor to see if it warrants anything more here, as Petraitis got hit in the face, and with contact above the shoulders, that's what the officials are checking out here to see if anything else is warranted, as the call on the floor was a turnover against Cal Poly.
No, and as you and I have discussed numerous times, it's not even about intent, Roxy. The officials are instructed to call fouls when there is contact directed to the head face area. So if that's the determination, then that will be upgraded.
And keep in mind, if it's still considered a basketball play, that affects the way it'll be called as well.
I'm glad that the officials now have the ability, A, to go to the monitor. I know fans don't like it, but the coaches and I think the players deserve it. And two, to get it right, because you don't want to do something or allow something that will, you know, take place that will injure a player or put a player in peril.
So the officials are discussing it. ACC refs, Lee Cassell is our lead referee, with Tommy Morrissey and Ben Sturt, our officiating crew here tonight.
Well, veteran crew. I've had Lee Cassell a number of times, and that's 2 games in a row now. He's seen me on the sidelines. Probably happy I'm over here. You know,
did he feel an urge to give you a technical foul sitting over here?
Yeah, he didn't give me a hug, I can tell you that. But no, Lee's a terrific official, Roxy. He's refereed at the highest level. A lot of respect, and we exchange pleasantries. But I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The officials with the monitors and the replays just do such a good job. As a coach, you're so subjective. But when you sit here now and you watch a game from a different perspective, they get it right. They really do.
So nothing was added after the call on the floor, so it just was a Cal Poly turnover and a Cal ball. And the Bears, who are trailing by 9, have been down by as many as 12 already in this game. Christian Tucker launching a 3, and Tucker had 3 really good seasons at UTSA. And in the opening game, he was a plus 22 in the plus-minus category in the win against Bakersfield. And the 3 missed, and Luka Tarlac runs it down for the Mustangs.
Well, he was a terrific player for UTSA, Roxy. I saw him, covered him last year. He was just really a tough player.
Underneath, double clutch, and it rattles in for Mac Riniker.
Well, Riniker fouled out of his last game, and that was a big reason they couldn't hold on against USF. But Riniker, he's a veteran. And, you know, you look at Cal Poly, Roxy, they've got 5 guys that can hurt you on the floor.
Jeremiah Wilkinson, and a foul committed by Logan McLaughlin. And Cal will get free throws out of it. The first on McLaughlin, and that'll be 3 shots. The medical hardship waiver, and huge impact in his first game in a Cal uniform here on Monday night against Bakersfield.
Well, Roxy, that's good news when your point guard delivers that type of message. You know, he's saying, look, you know, we can do a little bit of everything. We're versatile, and we don't really have an ego. You know, that our individual minutes and accolades aren't imperative that we concentrate on those things. So you want that message coming down, obviously from your coaching staff, but more importantly, through your player and your point guard, and he's delivering it.
First college free throws for Jeremiah Wilkinson, the freshman. In fact, Wilkinson, the first freshman signed by Mark Matson as the Cal head coach. As Wilkinson goes 2 for 3 from the line, and comes from the Atlanta area, played in the same AAU program that former Cal standout Jaylen Brown played in.
That's pretty good competition, but you mentioned the lone freshman, Roxy, 10 transfers, and the freshman, here he is.
Mac Riniker missing inside as he went to work, and the rebound grabbed. Here comes DJ Campbell for Cal. Andrej Stojakovic gets to the bucket. And that was a nice finish across the key.
Well, that's what he did to start the game the other night, Roxy, and it's good to see him stay aggressive.
First points for Stojakovic, and Cal forcing another turnover.
You know, you really think about Stojakovic, obviously with the family name, for good reason to be a knockdown shooter, which he can do, but what he really can do is attack the basket. His coaching staff and I and you were talking today, and he's worked awfully hard on that in the offseason.
BJ Omot spinning. Left it short, but will get to the line of foul on Cal Poly. So the Bears appear to have weathered the early storm, been down 12, and now have a chance with Omot going to the line to pull within 2.
Well, I like what Cal is doing, Roxy. They're attacking the basket, which is intelligent because not only are they getting opportunities to score, but they're getting to the foul line. And that's one way to wear down Cal Poly. And they're putting pressure on Cal Poly out on the floor defensively, forcing them to drive and get to the basket. And Cal Poly's had problems finishing at the rim. So I like the adjustments that Mark Madsen and his coaching staff have made.
Cal shot 40 free throws in the game here against Bakersfield on Monday. In their 13-point win, they went 31 for 40 from the line. But 40 free throw attempts.
A coach's dream, Roxy. You can't. I mean, give me 40 free throws any day, and I'll send the officials a Christmas holiday gift. Maybe if that happens. I never used to see that very often, but you got to earn that. And Mark Madsen, the way his staff plays, and they want his team to play, they make that happen.
Backdoor cut and the lay-in for Kieran Elliott for Cal Poly.
Well, he's coming off the bench this game, and sometimes players need a little motivation, Roxy, and so you can see he's got a little bit of edge going for himself, and a great finish by Kieran Elliott.
Last year, Elliott was the Lone Star Conference Division II level Freshman of the Year at West Texas A&M. Andrej Stojakovic short from deep with a rebound kept alive. Christian Tucker for Cal. Step back and BJ Omot rims it out, but Lee Dort on the offensive glass, and the transfer from Vanderbilt draws a foul.
Yeah, I like Lee Dort and what he means to this team, Roxy. He's big, he's strong, he's a presence inside, but he really pursues the offensive glass. And if you give him some space on the block, he can carve out some space and get to the rim or find his teammates.
Team foul addition. Number 5 on Cal Poly, and the second on Isaac Jessup. The lob and Lee Dort the finish.
Way to make me look good, big fella. That's why you like Lee Dort, Roxy. He's big, he's strong, he's agile, and he's got a little bit of nastiness to him. He's not afraid to get to the rim. Big basket.
Jared Hyder missing a 3, and the rebound falls to Lee Dort. Played 15 minutes, 4 points, 6 boards in the opener against Bakersfield. The kick to the corner, BJ Omot. Dort, and a foul underneath, and Dort will get to the line.
He's putting in some work, Roxy. I mean, look at this, over the top, untouched. And even if you want to guard him, there's just nobody on Cal Poly that can go up and stay with him to the rim. He's flying the friendly skies, and there's no traffic up there. He's able to get to the rim with little obstruction.
The call on the foul on the floor, not a shooting foul, the first on Ethan Menzies. That's 16 fouls against Cal Poly. Cal is yet to be called for one. Shot clock inside 10. DJ Campbell on the kick. Inside 5 to shoot. Andrej Stojakovic off balance, and the rebound, Luka Tarlach for Cal Poly.
Good possession for Cal Poly Mustangs.
Luka Tarlach gets inside, then misses at the rim, and it's Stojakovic pulling it down for the Golden Bears.
Cal Poly having problems finishing at the basket, Roxy. They've gotten point blank there, just can't go over the top of the bigger Bears.
Stojakovic missing a fall away, and on the deck, diving for the loose ball, and the arrow belongs to the Mustangs, but it seems Cal's length and size at the rim is a problem when Cal Poly goes inside.
Well, it is, and Roxy, they have no fouls right now, so they can afford to be aggressive, go for some block shots, and guess what? They can change shots. They don't need block shots. You can see Cal Poly's just a little bit hesitant when they get all the way to the rim. They've hurried a couple of their shots, and they've just miscued because they are worried about the bigger, stronger, and taller Cal Bears.
Peter Bondel brings it up, the freshman from Slovenia for Cal Poly. And this interchangeable style that the Mustangs will play. Bondel to the basket, and another miss inside, but a foul. The first whistled against Cal, and that will send Peter Bondel to the line for Cal Poly.
And Roxy, Cal Poly's got to do more of that as well. We talked about what Cal's got to do. Cal Poly has got to get to the rim. They're going to be pressured. You know you're getting pressured. You know you've got to beat your defenders. So put the ball down, get as far as you can to the basket, and see if you can draw some fouls. You're not every shot possession, you're not going to get threes. So they did that against USF the other night, had success. They're going to have to do more of it tonight against the Bears.
So the foul was on Blackshear, his first, and they're reviewing this last play for a potential basket interference and goaltending call.
Well, the ball went off the glass. So, you know, are you allowed to slap the backboard or the rim when the ball's in the cylinder up on the rim? Technically not. A lot of officials let that go, Roxy, but some officials play it by the book, and they may end up giving this basket to the Mustangs.
So they call the foul on Blackshear, and then that's what's under review. And again, they didn't interfere with it in the cylinder, but you see DJ Campbell slapping the backboard when the ball was still up there.
No, and the ball had no chance of going in. But sometimes
that has no effect.
No, but that's inconsequential. I was just going to say. So you didn't need to do that, but let's see the call on the floor.
So no goaltending.
Right play.
But 2 free throws for the freshman Peter Bondel of Cal Poly. 11 minutes the other night for Bondel. 3 points at USF, and Bondel international experience playing for the under-18 Slovenian national team. Went to the Royal Crown School in Toronto and goes 1 for 2 from the line, and DJ Campbell the rebound. And a 4-point lead for the Mustangs, who've led by as many as 12 here in the first half. And the floater, and the first points for Rytis Petraitis, and Cal within 2. Ethan Menzies, and the cutting Luka Tarlac drops it in.
Now that's what they do, Roxy. They're a tremendous passing team. So when you drop off, you've got to get back in the passing lanes. They'll give and go very well, and that's what they did to score that last basket.
And that's part of this scheme. They play quick. They really try to speed you up. Jovan Blackshear Jr., the step back 3. And the rebound, Jared Hyder ripped away by Petraitis, and then he's mugged by Ethan Menzies. And 2 shots for Petraitis.
Lines, Roxy, and it's always good to have some bloodlines like that. These guys have been around. They've seen, you know, big-time basketball. They've had a basketball in their hands for an awfully long time.
And Petraitis has different kind of bloodlines in basketball, as both his parents played at Oregon State. And Petraitis nails the free throws, and Cal closes to within 2. And that's a kick, and we'll stay at this end with Cal Poly. And so you're watching Cal Poly's flow and their movement offensively, Ben. Look, you coached against Princeton offense teams, Pete Carrill. Do you see some similarities between what Cal Poly does to the Princeton style of offense?
Well, in some ways, yeah. You can't play, you know, you can't get behind, and you got to have kind of 1 foot behind, because if you don't, you're going to get basket cut. But if you play too soft, you're going to get 3-point. And that was the problem playing in those teams.
Andrej Stojakovic the miss, the loose ball. It's batted around, and diving for it is Mac Riniker for Cal Poly. And there's Petraitis tying him up, and a Cal ball. The hustle from Petraitis keeps the possession for the Bears.
Well, he's done that now in the last 2 possessions. There's really nothing. You think it's Cal Poly ball until Rytis gets involved. And when he gets involved, he's going to get his hands on the ball. He's saved numerous possessions for the Bears this year. Just a dream to have on the floor.
Hard-nosed play if Petraitis gets Cal an extra possession. And it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by DJ Campbell. It belongs to Cal Poly.
Well, you know, Rox, you asked a question about playing against this style. And again, if you play too soft against a Princeton team or a team like this, they will shoot you, as was what happened to Cal early. you get a little more too aggressive, you're going to get beat on some back doors. You got to find that balance where you can play with some help, but also, play pretty even up. You got to be able to guard one-on-one.
Jared Hyder off balance in the lane, and it's a Cal ball out of bounds. Just inside 7 minutes to go in the half. The Golden Bears have not led in this one, and they don't run the quote-unquote Princeton offense. It has some of those qualities to it, but this was kind of a hybrid that Mike DeGeorge kind of came up with, along with one of his assistants, and Ron Dubois, who played at Arizona State, worked in the NBA. It's heavy analytics based, and there's a lot of NBA influence in what Cal Poly does offensively. Also, Kyle Boje, who's the offensive coordinator for Cal Poly, is Luka Tarlach missing at the basket. And that's where the influence for this brand of offense is for the Mustangs.
Now, there's a lot of analytics, but really it's pretty much fast-paced basketball. And also Grinnell College, who is just an unbelievable high-scoring team, scoring in the 150s. He was there, Coach DeGeorge as well. He's no stranger to this style of play.
And this is Mike DeGeorge's first venture at the Division I level. On the rebound, it's DJ Campbell, and a foul on Cal Poly will send the Golden Bears to the line. And now the officials need to step in a little bit. Some emotions from Mac Riniker. But numerous stops at the lower level, had a lot of success at Colorado Mesa the last number of years. 5 straight NCAA tournaments, a couple of Sweet 16s from Mike DeGeorge at Colorado Mesa, but also coached at Eureka College, not in California, in Illinois, and Cornell College, not Cornell, what you're thinking of, but Cornell in Iowa.
Yeah, Grinnell and Beloit as well, all small college teams, but those teams were really good offensively, Roxy. They scored a lot of points.
And Rhodes College in Memphis. These are the stops for Mike DeGeorge, and now his first venture at the Division I level. Well, so Riniker the foul, and at the line it's DJ Campbell for Cal.
Now it shows you that style of play is still style of play. It can work at every level.
And the rebound there is Mac Riniker pulling it down. Riniker underneath. And an errant pass, and it's chased down by Jovan Blackshear. Here comes Cal. Rytis Petraitis from deep, and a 3, and Cal has their first lead.
He's been all on every step of the way, been influential in this game.
Ethan Menzies offensive foul. He hooked Petraitis, and a turnover committed by the Mustangs.
You see Rytis Petraitis, Roxy, he spots up, and when you give him some time, he measures it, he knocks it down. I mean, he's just playing on all cylinders. He defends you. He'll knock down open shots, but he's just gritty. He knows how to get to the basket, knows how to come up with the ball. A real threat coming off the bench for the Cal Bears.
And that's 3 fouls in Ethan Menzies, who is still in the game for Cal Poly. Andrej Stojakovic nails a 3, and back-to-back threes, and Cal is up 4. And quickly back the other way, Cal Poly answers.
Yeah, we talked about, Roxy, not celebrating if you're Cal. I know Mark Matz and the staff did not like that sequence. Big shot by Stojakovic, and you're taking pictures. You got to get back against this team. Great that you're knocking shots down, but this team doesn't care. They'll come down and they'll shoot you out.
First points for Owen Kuntz, the stutter step move. The ball movement, Christian Tucker from D. 3!
Really unselfish play by the Bears.
And the strip by Jovan Blackshear. Cal seems to have recovered from an early 12-point deficit. And you have Menzies watching Blackshear with the 3 fouls. Cal on an 11-2 run. And that's the 4th foul on Ethan Menzies with 4:15 left in the first half.
Well, you mentioned he had 3 and was still on the floor, and now he's going to have to come out of the game with 4 as Coach DeGeorge goes to this bench. But Cal really withstanding a really big-time deficit and just coming back and playing their brand of ball. And a lot of it with their second unit, Roxy. This second unit stepped up for the Cal Bears.
And one more for Christian Tucker. He has 7 points off the bench, along with Petraitis to lead Cal.
Well, this is where you sell depth. If your team has any doubts, you talk about what this second group has done. They're coming in here without ego. They're just making contributions. They've turned this game around.
And Christian Tucker nails them both. And Tucker, the last year at UTSA, set the single season UTSA assist record for a game, or the single game record, I should say, at 14 assists in a game against Tulsa. And Jared Hyder left the ball behind, but recovers. Inside, 10 to shoot for Cal Poly. Isaac Jessup from deep. And the rebound tipped out, and hustling is Kieran Elliott to keep it alive for the Mustangs, and a foul on Andrej Stojakovic. But after trailing by 12, Cal is up 7 now, late in the first half against Cal Poly.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, great. No, that's what Blackshear does. Yeah, very unselfish. I like that. Good stop. Yeah, good job. Thank you, sir. Just give me a cue when you're coming back. Yes, sir. You know, Roxy, you hear a lot about making plays for your team, but if you're the Cal Bears, watch this last possession. Blackshear into the lane. He can beat his man, get to the rim, but he finds a corner spot up three. And to a guy that just hit, Petraitis just hit a shot, he gives up his three and gets a better look from the top. That's just great team basketball. That's one reason Cal has climbed back in this game.
Cal's bench, with Tucker coming off the bench, he's got 8. Rytis Petraitis was 7. Cal's bench outscoring Cal Poly's bench 19-5. And Cal also with 14 points off turnovers. The Mustangs have given it away 8 times.
Well, the turnovers have hurt Cal Poly, no question about that.
Stepping out for a 3, it rattles out for Paul Bisimona. And it's out of bounds to California. It just seems that Cal was staggered early by this Cal Poly offense and the style. You can only do so much trying to simulate it and get ready for it when you're doing it against scout teams / walk-ons, who's ever running their offense. They're not going to run it at the pace and the tempo that Cal Poly does, so it's difficult at first to get a real feel for it. And an offensive foul on Cal for illegal screen. It's on Christian Tucker, but it seems that they're used to now what Cal Poly's trying to do.
Well, one mistake, and you're correct, Roxy, one mistake that teams make oftentimes is trying to match basket for basket. You don't get back in the game by all of a sudden making shots because now you're trading baskets. What Cal did is went out and got stops. They made a concerted effort defensively to pressure up on the ball, force Cal Poly to get to the rim. They didn't seem as comfortable doing that, so for that stretch, Cal was able to climb back in the game.
Mac Riniker lines it up, and the offensive rebound hustling is Kieran Elliott for the Mustangs. Owen Kuntz on the drive. And underneath, ball stripped from Elliott. And Cal comes away with it, and BJ Omot pushes. And it's knocked away from Omot, and countering, here comes Isaac Jessup for the Mustangs. Kieran Elliott can't get the roll. There's Lee Dort flying for the rebound.
How many times has Cal Poly gotten to the rim, Roxy, not to not finish or come away with a foul call? Really come away empty-handed.
Andrej Stojakovic draws the foul, the second on Owen Kuntz. Well, Stojakovic will go to the free throw line.
And Roxy, that's a good example that if you're going to drive, if you can't get to the rim, you've got to at least be able to draw contact. You've gotten your man one-on-one. He's at a disadvantage without help. So really, Andrej, one of his strengths is being able to draw the foul call or finish with his length at the rim, and he's done that.
And he knocked down his free throws in the opener, 9 for 9 from the line. He struggled last year from the line at Stanford, averaged just under 8 points per game, made 10 starts for the Cardinal last year and transferring across the Bay. Of course, his dad, Peja, which we showed earlier, former NBA champion and three-point shootout champion a couple of times at the All-Star game, a 3-time All-Star, his dad. There is Peja, but Andre, a McDonald's All-American coming out of Jesuit High School up in the Sacramento area. And was a 5-star recruit.
And he only shot a little over 50% from the free throw line, which was strange last year. So he's putting it together now. I know Peja and his wife, Aleka, are at the game today. They're driving up from Sacramento, and you know, they've got sports in the family. They've got a daughter that plays as well, and you know, who's an athlete. So it's nice to have that kind of blood, first of all. But you got to put the work in. It doesn't guarantee anything. What I like about Andre is he's put the work in. He's got his game now to another level.
Cal trailed 17-5 early. Luka Tarlach in the key, and Lee Dort another rebound for Cal. But since it was 17-5 Mustangs, Cal has outscored Cal Poly 30-11. Jovan Blackshear drives, and the rebound here is Mac Riniker. He pushes up the floor. Riniker backs his way in. Deep three, and a three for Logan McLaughlin.
Well, interesting, Roxy. They've gotten the ball into the paint maybe 6 or 7 of the last 8 possessions and come away empty-handed. Now they go back out to the three-point line and find their niche. It's just something they're comfortable doing is knocking down shots.
And that was a deep one from McLaughlin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Christian Tucker turns the corner. Andrej Stojakovic. And Lee Dort on the weak side. Dort muscles it back up and in. The second bucket for Dort. How could you forget the first one? It was an emphatic slam. Tarlach will get to the line for Cal Poly.
Well, really tough to put a body and keep Lee Dort off the glass. He really, you know, he does a good job of keeping his hands up, hips his opponent under, and avoids offensive foul and does a great job of scoring. He's going to give the Bears that this year. He's going to give them defensive presence and the ability to carve out and finish at the rim. I really like what he's done for this team so far in a very short season.
2 shots for the Utah transfer Tarlach, who played 2 years for Craig Smith at Utah, transferred to Cal Poly, and Luka's dad, Dragan, played pro in Europe, was a second-round draft pick in the mid-90s by the Bulls. And Tarlach, who played with the Serbian junior national team as well. And he hits both free throws.
Well, 2-possession game, Roxy. It's not like Cal's built an insurmountable lead now. They've got to come in if they can this last minute of play and see if they can get points on the board and keep Cal Poly off the ledger.
Step back from Stojakovic. And the rebound tip free, and Luka Tarlach brings it up for Cal Poly. Isaac Jessup, shot blocked, but a foul on Christian Tucker. And Tucker in disbelief.
He's pleading to the wrong people. He's asking his coaches for, can he get a witness? And it's the officials you got to try to get on your side, but that's a tough one. You know, Mark Madsen trying to get a little bit of a explanation there. That's a big possession. I mean, that's a big momentum changer, Roxy, because again, that allows Cal Poly to climb right back into this game right before they go down at half.
And 3 shots for Isaac Jessup now with 7 points. And the grad transfer from Colorado Mesa, who began his college career at Colorado.
Yeah.
And Jessup, his older brother Justinian, played at Boise State. That was a second-round draft pick by the Warriors.
No, he's a good player. Isaac Jessup went for 12 points and 4 rebounds against USF the other night, so he's a big part of this team. You know, he's a senior, he's a veteran, and he can play.
So it was a 9-point lead for Cal. It's now a 3-point Bears lead. Let's see if Cal tries to get a 2-for-1 here to end the first half. Blackshear draws a foul and will get to the line. And there you see some of the creativeness for Blackshear with the ball.
You know, it seems like he can pretty much get what he wants. And what's good news about him, you watch him operate here. He gets you on the head and shoulder fake. Really good job of stutter stepping and then keeping the ball on a string and getting to the rim. But he's able to draw fouls. He's able to find teammates. So he's just so dangerous to guard on the floor.
Second on Mac Riniker. And Jovan Blackshear 2 for 2 from the line in the opener. And really a remarkable story, overcoming a significant knee injury when it was at Cal Poly. He was one of the top players in the WAC, which Grand Canyon was playing in, and they still are for another couple of years. And Blackshear, who is 7th in Grand Canyon history in scoring, 2nd in assists, 4th in steals. And last year, this goes to show you the type of teammate that he is. Coming back, he accepted coming off the bench and being the 6th man for that team, despite all that success, and that fueled a terrific season for Grand Canyon.
Well, that's what leaders do, Roxy. They put the team, obviously, above themselves. Now, if you're Cal Poly, you've got to absolutely make sure you get the last shot. Even if you don't score, you can't allow Cal to come back and increase this lead.
About a 3-second differential between shot and half clock. Nice pass. Riniker to Tarlach. And Luka Tarlach back to the line. The foul is on Mady Sissoko.
Well, watch Cal Poly. Roxy, I was talking about this earlier. They do a nice job of block-to-block entries. You come over for a really good double team, but then you don't crack down. You leave the opposite block open. When you double on the block, you've got to cover the opposite block. But Cal Poly really makes you pay. If you double them, they will find not only 3 guys spotting on the perimeter, but they will find a 4th guy that's going to be right at the rim, and they opportunistically cash in on that.
8.8 left in the half. One more shot for Tarlach, so Cal will get the last crack at it before halftime.
Now you're Cal Poly, you want to get back on defense and not give up an offensive rebound.
Here comes Blackshear. And a steal, and that'll take us to halftime as it's knocked away by Peter Bondel. And from down 12, Cal has a 4-point lead at the half.
Well, they did it on their defense, Roxy. They scored some bad. He was even a better person, as you know, off the floor. Bill Walton, we miss you.
Starting the second half with 4 fouls, Ethan Menzies missing the runner. And Cal, who trailed by as many as 12 in the first half, led by as many as 9 late in the first half, and they open the second half with a 4-point lead. With Ben Braun and our ACC Network crew, Roxy Bernstein with you. Haas Pavilion in Berkeley, Game 2, Year 2 with Mark Madsen. As the Cal coach, as BJ Omot goes inside. Jovan Blackshear Jr. finds Andrej Stojakovic in the corner, and he rattles in a 3, the second 3 for Stojakovic.
Roxy, how does Jovan Blackshear get through all these people and find people at his size? It's remarkable to me.
Great to see him flourishing again after that ugly knee injury he suffered. Jared Hyder, former Cal Bear, and the drop-off, and missing at the rim was Mac Riniker again. Cal Poly gets a good look inside, but can't convert.
If you chart their misses at the rim, it's high, Roxy. They're going to look back at this game and and talk about the points they left on the table.
BJ Omot from deep. And back-to-back threes for Cal to open up the second half, and the Golden Bears have their largest lead of the night.
Great start by the Bears.
And a foul on the drive as Mac Riniker moving inside. It's the second foul on Andrej Stojakovic.
Roxy, watch here Stojakovic getting by his guys, and just you have to honor him, and he's now been able to put the ball down with authority, and that creates a shot for BJ. So the Bears are really doing a good job of penetrating and finding.
Ethan Menzies, and he forces a pass in the baseline, and Cal Poly with a turnover. Unfortunately, that has been an issue for them in their first couple of games, as Cal Poly turned it over 19 times in their opener against USF on Tuesday.
And 10 already. So, and that's a credit, obviously, to Cal's defense, but if you're Cal Poly, it's unusual. They're going to end up shooting the ball before they turn it over the majority of the time.
BJ Omot, a corner three.
Well, if there's any question mark about Cal shooting or their capability of shooting, I think they're showing that they have some guys that can knock down shots.
8-0 run. Rather a 9-0 run for Cal to start the second half. And a timeout for the Mustangs, and Cal surging here to open up the second 20 minutes.
Roxy, a two-possession.
The shot blocked by Monty Sissoko, the grad transfer from Michigan State. Transition three short from Andrej Stojakovic, and Ethan Menzies grabs the rebound for the Mustangs. Mac Riniker backs his way in. Menzies, who missed 2 seasons with a devastating knee injury, and started to regain his form toward the end of last season. Another block from Sissoko. Rejects that one out of bounds.
Well, really, Cal Poly now is just trying to get by their defender, but as I said earlier, that's difficult to finish against the Bears. You know, they're putting pressure on the ball, they're forcing you to drive and making you finish, and Cal's not letting you finish.
Cal's also doing a good job of running them off the three-point line, which Cal Poly early was getting good looks. That has not happened since, as a challenge three is missed by Owen Kuntz, and here comes Blackshear for Cal. 2-on-3, and the Bears will slow it up here for the half court. DJ Campbell, the spin move and the jumper.
And that's what he does, Roxy. He's got a tremendous mid-range game.
11 straight for Cal to start the second half. And the challenge, good defense from Monty Sissoko, and a foul whistled against Cal.
Well, watch the spin and the pull-up. I mean, that's just a lost art, really. And then, obviously, the defense by Cal, you know, you're there at the rim. It's hard to go over Sissoko. He's really big, long, and strong.
Second foul on Monty Sissoko. And the baseline pull-up. And the miss, a good look for Owen Kuntz, and Cal controls. A hesitation, then Stojakovic lost it going up, but a foul called against Cal Poly. And Andrej Stojakovic draws the foul. And for Cal Poly, their first team foul in the second half, and 2 shots coming for Stojakovic.
You're really caught when you're guarding Cal, because your instincts say, let's not let him get inside. Let's make him knock down some shots because of percentages. But Cal's picked up some shooters, Roxy. They've got guys shooting with confidence. They're able to knock down shots. If they start getting it going from the outside, you can put pressure on them. They're really adept at getting to the rim and getting by their defender.
One more for Stojakovic. Solid freshman year for Stanford last year. Goes 1 for 2 from the line. And he leads Cal with 11, and the largest lead of the night, growing for Cal to 16. 12 straight for Cal to start the second half. Owen Kuntz finally breaks the seal for the Mustangs, and a foul is on Cal, and it's on DJ Campbell, who got tangled in the feet of the cutting Owen Kuntz.
Well, that's Cal Poly when they're at their best, Roxy. That's how they started the game. They had cuts, scores, shots from the perimeter. But Cal found their niche defensively. Cal really put them on their heels and just played tough defense.
Free throw knocked in by Kuntz, who, like Isaac Jessup, also began his college career as a walk-on for Tad Boyle at Colorado. Went to Colorado Mesa, was second team All-Rocky Mountain Conference last year. And transferred to Cal Poly for his last year. Andrej Stojakovic straight on. In and out on the three. Chasing down the rebound. Here comes Owen Kuntz for the Mustangs. Kuntz getting inside. And the loose ball batted around, and Cal controls it. Stojakovic securing it.
Well, Cal's got most of the loose balls today, Roxy. They've really, I think, been good on the 50-50 balls.
To the basket and missing at the rim, but a foul will get Sissoko to the line. So 2 free throws coming up for Cal. Sissoko, I was talking to Mark Few on Monday, the coach at Gonzaga, about flag, as I was working the Gonzaga game Monday night when they played Baylor, and Jay Williams and I. And we both got at the same time almost out of our mouths when they were talking about the summer and playing against the select team, which Cooper Flagg was a part of. And we asked Mark, all right, is he the real deal? And Few just kind of looks at us and goes, oh yeah.
Yeah, he would know, Roxy. Mark Few, coaching the elite team and playing against a young player like Flagg, but he's special.
Aaron Prince Jr. right off the bench hits a three. And the junior from Las Vegas, who didn't play in the opener in his first appearance here of the 24-25 season, nails a three right away.
Well, if you're Cal, you can't relax against a team like Cal Poly because they'll put points on the board.
Jovan Blackshear rattles in a three for Cal.
Or you put the ball in Jovan Blackshear's hands. It's that simple. He's been terrific.
Second three for Blackshear. Jared Hyder rims out a three, and the rebound Lee Dort for Cal. That's a deep two from Blackshear. And the rebound back tap by Stojakovic, and diving for the loose ball, and it's Price coming away with it for Cal Poly. Driver to the basket, and missing inside was Kieran Elliott. And Cal counters back the other way. Andrej Stojakovic in the key. And Stojakovic too strong, but the offensive rebound, Rytis Petraitis up and in.
Here's the guy who does like to get loose balls. Kurt Rambis type player, Roxy. Rytis Petraitis.
Had a solid 2 years at Air Force. And having a big impact off the bench tonight. And a foul committed by Cal.
Well, you love players that play with extra effort. And he's always around the ball. He's always able to withstand contact. He doesn't complain about it. He actually likes it, brings it on. He welcomes contact. And you want players that can play with that type of chip on their shoulder. He really does like playing some physical style basketball.
A couple of years ago, Petraitis was the top scoring freshman in the Mountain West Conference, averaged over 10 points a game for the Air Force Academy. And then last year upped it to just almost 16 a game. And last year, Petraitis led Air Force in scoring, rebounding, assists, blocks, and steals, all 5 categories. And skipping his way to the basket, Owen Kuntz lays it in for the Mustangs.
No, and Mark Matson's, no stranger to Rytis Petraitis. You play in that league, you coach in that league, you're familiar with what he can do. So he's really welcomed him to his team, open arms.
Good ball movement, Christian Tucker had a clean look. And the rebound pulled down by Kieran Elliott for Cal Poly. Logan McLaughlin the drop off. And diving for the loose ball is Kuntz, and Petraitis ripped it right away. 2-on-1. Petraitis to the basket, and he draws a foul. That's the 4th on Isaac Jessup.
Roxy, Rytis Petraitis, there's that man again. He's on the floor, he rips it away, says, that's my ball. If it's a 50-50, good chance he's going to come away, and then he does not mind absorbing the contact, welcomes it. really hard to keep him off the floor. I know Mark Madsen and the staff love to play in a rotation, but when the game's getting tough and the game's on the line, you want tough guys on the floor. Hard to keep Rytis off the floor.
Petraitis from Arlington, Texas, but has dual citizenship with Lithuania. Again, his parents were basketball players at Oregon State. And now coming off the bench after it was a 2-year starter for the Air Force Academy. Jessup will sit with the 4 fouls and 12:55 to play. Petraitis with 10 off the bench.
Well, we talked about depth, and you see Cal playing with their second unit, and they've made a lot of strides with that unit.
Stripped. Joshua Ola Joseph took it away. Minnesota transfer. Ola Joseph inside, drops it in. 2 years for the Golden Gophers for Joshua Ola Joseph. The Brooklyn Park, Minnesota native. Last year averaged 7.5 points for Minnesota, where his academic all Big Ten selection. A strong move inside by the freshman Peter Bondel.
I like the finish, Roxy. Strong move, but you know, you watch Cal again. Great ball movement, and now you can spread out. And Joseph able to get to the basket. Now you see some and one potential, strength at the rim.
So one shot for Bondel. And gets the old school 3-point play. He's got 4 off the bench. And it's a 14-point lead for Cal. Right to the rim, and the lay-in by the freshman, Jeremiah Wilkinson. And then forcing a turnover. Petraitis attacks and will get to the line.
It's unusual. Look at how long Coach Madsen, Mark Madsen and his staff have left this group on the floor. Generally, they've rotated out by now, but they're saying, look, you guys brought us back here. You did it in the first half. You're doing it in the second half. They're getting rewarded by playing extra minutes. I think that's a great message to his team.
All 5 starters on the bench right now. And this is entirely the second unit for Cal. And through the hands of Luka Tarlac, and it belongs to Cal, as the Bears have equaled their largest lead of the night. They have outscored Cal Poly 24-11 since halftime.
Well, I'd like to see some type of shot chart with all the shots that Cal Poly's had at the rim or turnovers in the paint. It's been a ton.
Joshua Ola Joseph backing his way in. And a tough shot over the shoulder there by Ola Joseph. Off the screen, a 3 that's short for Mac Riniker, and Cal has completely taken this game over after they were down 17-5.
That's just great defense, Roxy. Challenge shot, you come away in the other direction. Really doing a good job on this end of the floor.
And a foul, it's on the pass, the 5th team foul against the Mustangs.
Well, I really like Ola Joseph, Roxy, with what he can give this team. He's got great body control. He can spin either way, go over the top of you. Athletic but skilled, has a soft touch. He's a player. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. And Mark Madsen and his staff love this kid. He's going to be a real plus for the Bears this year. You can see the way he plays. He commands attention on the block, but he's also agile from the perimeter.
4th foul on Mac Riniker is a line change now for Cal Poly. Rytis Petraitis on the offensive glass. Lee Dort the putback. And a 3 missed by Isaac Jessup. And it bounces into the Cal Poly bench, and it belongs to Cal.
Roxy, did you just say line change?
Yeah.
That's a hockey firm.
Well, they 5 guys on, 5 guys off.
Oh, that's I know where that came from.
Okay.
There's a lot of hockey in the Bernstein family, but that's what they do, and I think that's a good way to describe the Cal Bears. There's going to be a lot of line changes this year.
7 straight for Cal as Ola Joseph makes it 9 in a row for Cal.
He's coming into his own, Roxy. He's stepping up and playing big-time basketball.
And a steal, Jeremiah Wilkinson is off to the races. Doing his best Noel Williams imitation right there. To the basket, and a foul will send Owen Kuntz to the line. It's on Lee Dort. Third on Dort.
Look at the defense that Cal's playing. They're jumping in the passing lane. They're hungry, and I got to give the Cal bench and that first unit credit. They're cheering on their teammates, at their own expense. They're on the bench, but they're really happy for the performance that their team. That's great team chemistry right there. And if you can keep that up as the year goes on, that will pay dividends.
One more for Owen Kuntz. And this is a Cal team that's still, it's going to take a while. They're going to get used to one another. 11 scholarship newcomers on this team. But a lot of experience when you look at 8 of the 13 scholarship players are juniors or older.
No, if you're going to have newcomers, Roxy, give me upperclassmen or transfers, because now you're not a newcomer to the game. You're a newcomer to Cal. But you can get around the lack of experience if you've got guys that have experience. That's hard to overcome when you have guys that haven't played.
The old Mike Bray line, get old, stay old.
Yeah, I love it. I like when Mike, I've known Mike a long time, but that's a beaut, and I think it applies here.
And that one's way off from Joshua Ola-Joseph, and here comes Jared Hyder. One-time Cal Bear. Isaac Jessup, corner three, rattles in for Jessup.
Well, that's what Cal Poly can do when they're on all cylinders. But Cal has kept them at bay defensively. I think Cal has made a conscious adjustment and decision to really step up defensively, and they have.
BJ Omot, and clearing out, going for the rebound. The foul is on Lee Dort, his fourth.
See, Roxy, I know that's an obvious foul, but as a coach, I don't mind those fouls. I don't mind being aggressive on the offensive end. I know, you have to come out, you get a foul call, but you want the other team to feel you. You want the other team to know that you're challenging for rebounds. They're not just going to walk and get clean rebounds. So, and Lee Dort can do that. He can offensive rebound. So that's not a bad foul in my book.
The only negative part of it is it puts Cal Poly in the bonus.
Well, it does.
And a 1-and-1 for Kieran Elliott.
Well, but they're up 20, so it's going to be a climb for them to come back. But I like sending a message to your opponents that you're going to have to come through me. You're going to have to come over the top of me, go through me, go to score. We're not going to give you anything. And that's a mentality that if you know anything about Mark Madsen, and you do, you covered us, and I coached against him, that was his style of play. He was blue-collar, as blue-collar a player as you'll ever see.
Pull-up jumper by Jovan Blackshear Jr., who has 10.
Yeah, you get the feeling he can pretty much do what he wants to do with the ball, and he often does.
That three is off the mark from Isaac Jessup, and the offensive rebound and a foul. And Kieran Elliott will head back to the foul line for Cal Poly.
Here's obviously Blackshear. If you're out and you're a big guy guarding him, you're on skates. You talk about hockey. You are slipping, sliding, gliding, because you are not going to be able to keep him in front of you. And then just when you kind of retreat to get his jab step, he pulls up and goes right up and shoots it over the top of you. So Blackshear's a real find for the Cal Bears. Much needed position. They did it. They got him, and he is an experienced point guard.
And he was a late addition. And right around the dead period, before it started, is when Mark Madsen got him, and Blackshear wasn't sure he'd get the 6th year, and the waiver granted.
No, but that was a good gamble, because they've got him, and he's performing.
As Blackshear, with the medical hardship, was granted the 6th year by the NCAA. And as soon as he went in the portal, Cal right away went after him. And Blackshear getting him to come back to the Bay Area, the Oakland native.
Now that's what you got to do, and it's great acquisition. But I think you're seeing right now Mauri Sissoko and what he can do. He's a load down there too. Haven't heard a lot from him this game. Had a bigger first game, but you'll hear more about him as the year goes on. He's really a strong player inside. I've been, as you have, several practices this year, and he stands out. When you watch the Cal Bears practice, he's the one guy that's sweating and bumping and grinding. He's alone, and I think as the year goes on, the Cal Bears are going to really benefit from his presence.
Played 4 years at Michigan State for Tom Izzo. Graduated last spring a degree in environmental science from Michigan State, and the grad transfer who's played in 6 NCAA tournament games.
That's all.
When it's Michigan State, yeah, you think, okay.
Yeah. Well, how about this? And you played for Tom Izzo, and I've known Tom Izzo 30 plus. You're playing for as tough a coach as you can play for. So that doesn't hurt you either. You're prepared. You're challenged. There's just no excuses playing for a Tom Izzo coach team, and so he's been through the ringer.
Step back three in the corner, and Isaac Jessup buries it.
He's been a bright spot for Cal Poly. But they've got to find some other guys that can step up with them, because Cal's defense is really dominated throughout much of this game.
He leads the Mustangs with 15. BJ Campbell lost the handle. Owen Kuntz took it away. It's the trailing Jessup. Launches a three. And another three for Isaac Jessup. Timeout, Mark Madsen and Cal.
Well, and that's a good timeout by Mark Madsen. Just when you think things are going your way, you can't relax. Voice contact. He plays off of the contact. You can see the smile on his face. And by the way, he doesn't mind this year going to the free throw line. A year ago, it wasn't his forte. This year, until he shot that shot.
Way to go, Ben.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't me, it might have been you. But he does enjoy getting the line.
Can't blame that one on me.
Not this one.
Isaac Jessup, by the way, is fouled out with 20 points for Cal Poly. And on the drive to the bucket, and a nice finish by Aaron Price Jr.
Well, they were doing that Saturday against USF. Been a little bit tougher for them to get to the basket against the Cal Bears, but they've got the ability to do that. The Cal Bears are going to make you think twice about taking it all the way to the rack.
First appearance for the freshman Guzman Vasilic for Cal Poly as he grabs the rebound, the freshman from Uruguay. He spent last year at Southeastern Oklahoma redshirted and transferred to Cal Poly. Here's Price. Owen Kuntz, tough fall-away shot.
Well, giving Andre a little of his own medicine right there. That's a pretty good-looking shot, and Kuntz can do that as well. Now, Cal Bears still, double digits, but not far away from getting back in this game as Cal Poly to trim it to single digits. Cal Bears have to really utilize their possessions.
It's down to 12, inside 5.5 to go. Jovan Blackshear, the pull-up.
Roxy, it just, you get the feeling he's just playing with confidence. And when you got a guy that can play like that, the point guard, that's what you need and that's what you want.
Peter Bondel fouled on a three by Christian Tucker. And that's the fourth on Tucker, and Bondel, the freshman from Slovenia, will get 3 shots.
Well, here's, again, look at the body balance of Blackshear. If you watch where he takes off, Roxy, we used to say this, he takes off and lands the same spot, but there's a no-no. You just challenge up, you live with the shot if it goes in, but you don't want to stop the clock and allow your opponents to get a chance at 3.
2 more shots for Bondel. Talked about all the newcomers that Cal has. Cal Poly has 11 newcomers, 7 transfers, and of the 7 transfers, 4 followed Mike DeGeorge from Colorado Mesa to Cal Poly down in San Luis Obispo.
Right, so at least you don't have the challenge of trying to piece together guys that have never played together, Roxy. That's the luxury that Cal Poly has.
That's what Mark Madsen's trying to do.
Yeah, and now Mark Madsen has a little bit of a different challenge, but the good news is he's got guys that have played at a very high level in basketball and some guys that have been to NCAA tournaments. You want that in your program.
Plus, Cal Poly has 9 players that are within 6'3" to 6'7". So the interchangeable parts, the positionless basketball, which you talked about.
Yeah, they do it in both ends. They can play, guard every position.
And that's an offensive foul, and Mac Riniker has fouled out.
Let me guess who took that charge. Rytis Petraitis. He's in your way. He's a bad dream. He is gum on your shoe. You don't want him anywhere near you because he makes you pay.
The second Cal Poly player to foul out. Jessup already has departed. Now Riniker is done for the night. And the offensive rebound, Andrej Stojakovic in the putback. Tough work inside, and Stojakovic leads Cal with 15.
Great athleticism to go up, keep the ball alive, and just get it to the rim in record speed. He got it up there quickly, Roxy.
And a reach in on Jovan Blackshear. His second will put Jared Hyder at the line for Cal Poly. 4:10 remaining.
You know, this is the part of the game where if you're coaching, you really want your guys to step on the gas a little bit. You know, you have to have a little bit of killer instinct, because if you don't, good teams will find a way to come back and you'll get burned. And that happened to Cal last year, as we remember. They had leads in the game. They gave up some of those leads, and they took some tough, hard fought, but some bitter, stinging losses. I think this year, I think the message to the team through Mark Madsen and his staff is we can't allow that to happen to us.
So the double bonus, Jared Hyder hits both. He has 8. And the Cal graduate playing for Cal Poly, as Hyder got his degree in legal studies from Berkeley. And now in his second season for the Mustangs in his final year of college basketball. Shot clock down to 5. DJ Campbell, the lob and the finish. Lee Dort.
That was with authority, and there you go again.
And an offensive foul on the Mustangs. What's coming up next for California, heading toward the end of November.
Well, Lee Dort gets to go back to Vandy, so 2 emotional games, certainly for the Bears.
And Jared Hyder, probably an emotional game for him tonight, coming back here to take on Cal, where he has his degree from.
Now, it's always that way, Roxy. I think you look back and you say, hey, we had some good years, but you always want to make your current stop your last stop to be your best. Interesting point, you know, you look at Cal now and you say, what has Cal done better, or what have they done maybe differently this year so far, and it's early in the season. Roxy, they've got 4 guys in double figures and 2 guys with 8. They had 5 guys in the first game in double figures. They didn't do a lot of that last year. I think you brought that point up earlier. There was more of a go-to mentality for good reason. They had a pro. They had a first rounder. So, in Jalen Tyson. But what I like about this Cal Bear team so far in this young season, they can put some points on the board, and they can spread the wealth.
13 off the bench now for Petraitis. And Cal's pushed the lead out to 16. Cal Poly in their 31st season as a Division I school. They've been to the NCAA tournament just once. That was in 2014 when they won the Big West Tournament Championship. In a tough Big West where you look at teams like UC Santa Barbara, UC Irvine, the teams to beat. Long Beach State had some good teams. Coaching change there. And the coaching change at Cal Poly, and they're hoping that'll springboard them. Jovan Blackshear Jr. rattles in a 3 behind the screen.
Well, you can have a lot of adjectives for Blackshear, Roxy, but confidence has to be one of them. He plays with extreme level of confidence.
Cal is now up by 19 after Cal Poly threatened to climb back into the game. Hyder up and under. And the tip, nice job at the rim by Aaron Price Jr. for Cal Poly. He's got 7. Did not play in the opener. This is the 8th all-time meeting between Cal and Cal Poly. And then as Peter Bondil got knocked down, and there's a foul called against DJ Campbell of Cal.
Well, you try to measure your team, Roxy, by how you respond, you know, to runs and to little adversity. And let's remember, Cal was trailing 12-2 to start this game. Not the way you want to start, coming off a victory, your opening victory. And Cal managed, again, with a quick Mark Madsen timeout. I thought a very good timeout at the time. And he didn't wait. He didn't wait for any TV timeouts. He said, guys, we got to write this. It's not even the score, I think, that Mark Madsen was upset about. It was just kind of how things were going.
And the looks that Cal Poly was getting
Absolutely.
on the offensive end. And going down the lane, and a foul will get Peter Bondel to the line. 1:56 to go, and the foul is on Jovan Blackshear Jr., his third.
Well, and you got to know your team, Roxy, because again, the scoreboard doesn't tell you everything. It reflects what you're doing, but you know, if you're missing assignments, maybe you're not playing, you're not on a string, you're not communicating. Those are things you have to correct, and you want to correct them as soon as possible.
One more for Bondel, who has 7 off the bench. So in the 7 previous meetings, Cal winning 6 of them, including each of the last 5 against Cal Poly every time these two teams have hooked up. Can you tell me who was the coach when Cal Poly beat Cal, Ben?
No, but I can tell you I knew this was coming. You and I have been together a long time. I don't know how much
now
longer.
I can give you some grief over
Now
that
I don't
one.
know how much longer I'm going to withstand that. But yes, it was a Ensweiler 3 down the
Tip
Bears.
in.
Yeah, a local guy that didn't play for the Cal Bears, but played for Cal Poly that knocked down a big time. And by the way, they beat us at this gym, and we went to the NCAA. They beat one of our better teams with Leon Poe as a freshman.
Step back from DJ Campbell, the kick out. Jovan Blackshear Jr. a 3.
But you think he's not having fun, Roxy? Look at the look on Jovan Blackshear's, you know, just the demeanor. He's really enjoying himself on the court today. It's fun for him, and he's getting his teammates to smile with him, and he's leading his team to victory. That's what point guards and leaders do.
That's a deep 3, short from the freshman Guzman Vasilic. Cal has shot the ball well tonight, especially from the outside. Their size and physicality really having an impact in this game. Their depth, and also their unselfish play, their teamwork tonight has been fun to watch. Blackshear again launching a 3. And the rebound tipped out, and Vasilic has it for the Mustangs. And the block shot by Andrej Stojakovic.
Well, I think Cal now will just hold the ball and kind of salt this one away, Roxy. But what you just mentioned is what you're going to take away if you're the Cal Bears. Tremendous balance tonight, and that's something that they really have improved from a year ago.
So Cal doesn't have to shoot it. They're running out the clock, and they'll be 2-0 for the first time since 2019-2020. And a tough trip for Cal Poly, losing in USF and getting run out of Haas Pavilion by Cal tonight. The final, the Golden Bears